She grabbed my hair, dragged me to the door, and threw me out. My wife stood there and smiled. 3 days later, I walked into the biggest event of their lives and took everything from them. My name is Oliver Bennett. I'm 28, and what you're about to hear is not a story about revenge. It's about what happens when someone finally stops being afraid of the truth. But to understand what I did, you need to know what I discovered first. I had been married into this family for just 1 year. A rich, respected family, known everywhere for their charity work. They didn't just donate quietly. They ran entire charity firms, organized campaigns, supported struggling communities across the country. That was their identity. People admired them, trusted them, spoke about them with genuine respect. When I first joined that family, I believed it too. I was educated, organized. Naturally, I started helping with their work. Small things at first, managing documents, coordinating events, handling paperwork. Slowly, they gave me more responsibility. I felt proud, like I was part of something meaningful, something real. Then came that dinner, close family only. No cameras, no outsiders. Soft lighting, quiet conversations, expensive food. My mother-in-law at the head of the table, confident, in control, the way she always was. I moved around serving drinks. One careless moment, my hand slipped, juice spilled across her dress. The room went silent instantly. "I'm so sorry," I said. "It was an accident." Her hand came out of nowhere. The slap cracked through the room. Before I could even process it, her fingers were already in my hair, tight, rough, pulling with real force. "For something this simple, you can't even be careful," she snapped, her voice sharp and cold. She shoved me toward the door, still gripping my hair, then released and pushed me out. "Don't come back until you learn how to behave." The door slammed. I stood outside in the cold night air, face on fire, hands trembling, heart completely still. I didn't cry. I just stood there until I slowly turned and looked through the glass beside the door. My wife was standing inside, looking straight at me, smiling, not shocked, not uncomfortable, not reaching for the door, just smiling. In that moment, something inside me didn't shatter. It settled. Quietly, finally, completely. Because that smile told me everything I had refused to accept for a year. I was never family. Every effort, every sacrifice, every morning I woke up and tried again, it meant nothing to them. And the one person who was supposed to stand beside me had chosen, without hesitation, to stand and watch. I turned away from the glass. I walked, slowly, quietly, without looking back once. The next 2 days, no calls, no messages, not a single word from anyone in that house. I wasn't surprised, because I knew them better than they realized. And here is what the world outside never saw. The charity was a performance. On camera, they were extraordinarily warm voices, gentle hands, sitting with struggling families, looking them in the eye, placing money in their hands like every donation came from the heart. Organizations trusted them. Major investors gave them millions. The public adored them. The moment the camera stopped, everything changed. I remember one moment so clearly. They had just finished filming a segment helping an elderly man. My mother-in-law was radiant on screen, compassionate, generous, real, camera off. In less than 3 seconds, her expression went flat. She looked at the old man and said, "That's enough. Don't come here again and again." He stood there confused, grateful one moment, erased the next. I stood behind and watched every second of it. Same pattern, different people, different locations. Every single time, warmth on camera, coldness the instant it ended. I tried telling my wife, "This doesn't feel right," I said one night. She laughed. "We still help them. That's what matters." I tried my mother-in-law. She cut me off immediately. "Don't interfere in things you don't understand." So I stopped speaking. But I never stopped watching, because I handled the paperwork. I saw the numbers, millions coming in from investors and public donors. Money actually going out to the people they claimed to help, almost nothing in comparison. The gap was undeniable. The records were right there. So quietly, over months, I started keeping copies, documents, recorded moments, camera on versus camera off. At first I told myself it was just for clarity, just so I knew I wasn't imagining it. But deep down, I think I always knew. After that night, I stopped pretending otherwise. They were never going to change. And now I had everything I needed, organized, dated, documented, clear. And in 2 days, they were hosting the largest charity event of their lives. Every major investor, every important partner, every person who trusted them, all in one room. I opened my laptop. I started preparing. The day arrived. The hall was magnificent, grand chandeliers, soft music, tables arranged perfectly, cameras positioned at every angle. Hundreds of well-dressed guests filled the room. Investors, business leaders, representatives from organizations that had been donating for years. My in-laws stood at the center, dressed flawlessly, shaking every hand, smiling like the world owed them everything. Watching from across the room, just for a moment it almost felt unreal, like none of it had happened. Then I remembered, her hand in my hair, the cold air outside, my wife's face through the glass. I walked in. One person noticed. Then two. Whispers moved through the crowd. My mother-in-law's eyes found mine, and her smile didn't disappear, but it cracked just slightly. And underneath it, I saw something she couldn't fully hide: fear. My wife went rigid the moment she saw me, that easy confidence completely gone. I walked straight past both of them, straight to the stage. I turned around, hundreds of eyes, total silence. I picked up the microphone. My hand was steady. "My name is Oliver," I said. I paused, not because I was unsure, but because I needed every single person in that room to be still. I was part of this family. For a year, I worked alongside them, trusted their mission, believed they were changing lives. My mother-in-law stepped forward. "This is not the appropriate." I looked right past her, because this time, she didn't get to cut me off. I pressed the button. The screen behind me lit up. First, her face, warm, glowing, placing money into a poor family's hands. People in the audience nodded, some smiled. Then the footage continued past the edit. Camera cut, smile, gone. "That's enough. Don't come again." The room turned to ice. Another clip, same switch, another and another. Kindness performed, cruelty revealed. Over and over. If you've ever watched someone fake compassion while destroying real people behind closed doors and felt completely powerless, this moment is for you. Hit like right now, because what comes next on that screen is why silence was never an option. Then the documents. Numbers projected large and clear. Millions received, almost nothing spent on actual help. The math was right there, undeniable. I looked at my wife, eyes down, hands gripping the table, jaw tight. "You smiled," I said quietly. "When they threw me out." She couldn't look up. I wonder who's smiling now. No one breathed. I turned back to the audience. My voice dropped, just slightly. They didn't help people. They used them. And the room broke. Investors on their feet, voices overlapping. "Is this verified? We gave millions. I trusted you personally." People walking out mid-sentence. My in-laws tried to speak, tried to regain control, but the room wasn't listening. The image was gone. What remained was only the truth. The videos spread within hours. Documents reached journalists, then investigators. Accounts were frozen. Properties reviewed. Partners withdrew. Businesses collapsed, one by one, quietly, permanently. Then came the verdicts: fraud, misuse of funds, false representation. My mother-in-law held fully responsible. My wife implicated alongside her. They didn't just lose the money or the reputation. They lost their freedom. I saw her once, from a distance, being led inside. Everything I had known in her face, the confidence, the ease, that careless smile, completely gone. Her eyes found mine for just a second. Her lips moved. "I'm sorry I didn't respond." Some words come far too late to carry any weight. I looked at her for one last moment, then I turned and walked away, because I wasn't the man who stood outside that door anymore, broken, silent, waiting to be accepted into a family that never wanted him. That version of me ended the night. She smiled. "I didn't destroy them, they destroyed themselves. I just made sure no one looked away." And what I found hidden in her private files afterward, transfers, names, a second account I never knew existed, that is the next story.